Hi guys, Artiar here. So for this video, I'll be going through is the beginner week 1 to week 4 story content, mostly for PvE, all those kind of team build ideas. So in my Discord server here, if you go to the infographic guide here, because I'm pretty sure that my other infographic is already not shown in Reddit anymore. So if you scroll back up at 2023, here I actually made a newbie rough guide, but they actually changed the guide already, so it's no longer that accurate. But I'll still briefly go through like what they changed and what you still should have to do. So the newbie rough guide here, they actually show that what kind of thing you should do at the beginning and what kind of stuff you should focus on first. Alright, so let me go through with the image here. Right, so for example, this guide here is no longer that accurate because they added a few more new stuff here. But what you should actually focus at the beginning of the game is story progression, which is your main progression, spatial tower, ritual miracle, and sonic miracle, because this is where you get most of your resources is from story and tower content. Then ritual miracle for your equipment content, and also sonic miracle is for you to farm your EXP. These 4 content you should be focusing at the start of the game. After that, here's a few of the must-do things for the new player, which is a newbie echo rewards, path to mastery, Esper rookie support, and road to legend. So the newbie echo reward, which is this one here, I believe is still ongoing for those new players who just started the game. So this one here, you want to aim at least 350 pool. All new player, including free-to-play player, you are definitely guaranteed, as long as you progress at your story and tower, all those stuff, you are guaranteed to get this random 5-star legendary Esper. This is for sure. 350 pool, this is for sure. So but if you are a pay player who are actually aiming for 700 pool, then you are able to get 1 random Shimmer legendary Esper. Okay, then let's take a look at the next one. So like guide for this part here, just basically you have to go through the whole thing here. And then the most important part is the Esper rookie support. I believe it's no longer Jinhee and Koharu. They actually changed it into Sander and Emma. But I would highly recommend you to actually get Jiangman, which is this Esper here, because they still remain her there, or Sander. Within these two, it's either Sander or Jiangman. You don't go for Emma most of the time. If you are the player who already picked Emma, is fine, because you will still get Jiangman and Sander from the gold record pool anyway. It's just more RNG now. But Jiangman will be your carry from early game until end game, because until end game we are still using Jiangman. And then Sander you can be used in Ritual Miracle until end game. But Emma is mostly for PvP content only, but not really that strong. Okay, so this is the part where I'm gonna teach you about team building. So this is not a what's that called, a fixed team, because it really depends on what legendary you get and what kind of Esper you get. But most of the time, this is still the base concept of how you should be building for your team. So most of the time in your story content, because this guide here, I will be mainly guiding you guys for your story pushing content and for those tower content. Most of the time you want a controller for sure, and then you want a speed leader. Alright, so leader spot here, I would recommend you go for speed, then only HP, then only attack. We don't really need attack leader. Most of the time you're either going for speed leader or HP leader for your PvE content. So leader slot here, for ideal situation, you're going for long mien, which is a more easier way for you to get. And then you should be going for DPS, a buffer, and then if you want, you can put other 2 DPS here. But I would more recommend you to go for a controller, other 2 controller, 1 DPS or buffer, or you can go for 1 controller, 2 DPS, 2 controller, 2 DPS, and 1 buffer. So why I don't recommend healer in story content, because most of the time in story content, you are actually able to keep control them until they totally die. It's just a matter of time. So most of the time you won't be needed healer for story content until you meet some boss wave that you cannot control the boss will take their action, then that's the moment you're gonna need some healer. Then I also listed down some of the epic and rare Esper of their replacement. So like controller here, Prisker, Parmi, Longmian, these are the main 3 free-to-play unit I'll recommend, and then the rest here are some replacement. Then DPS here, this here is some alternative as well, healer and buffer as well. But this one here, you'll notice there's no legendary here because the guide that when I made that time, it's not just by being, it's with another guide writer which is called K. When we made this guide, we don't want to put any legendary because sometimes you'll feel like, oh, they put this legendary, so this team is not viable. So now I'm gonna go into how should you build your own team. Okay, so now I'm using a website made by a JP content creator. So this website is Dislabo. He made a website here, so I pretty love the website here for the team building content. So let me show you the team building. Alright, so let's say this is what you're gonna start as a early game content, right? And most of the time you want a speed leader, so you should be looking for a speed leader such as Falcon. The 20% speed leader here, you can put it here, speed leader plus 20. But Falcon doesn't have a control in his kit, so most of the time when you guys ask me like how should you build a team, most of the time you'll notice that I put Longmian as your speed leader here because Longmian give you speed plus 20%, and also Longmian have AoE freeze, AP down, all those stuff. But let's say you have a higher version or better version, which is TA. So the legendary slot here, let me go show. Okay, TA plus 25% speed leader, you can put it in front here because TA got AP down, got control in her kit which is stun, and also AP push in her kit. So basically your team one slot here, you kind of want to build with speed because you in story content most of them are able to one shot you, so you kind of want to keep control them. So with TA here as a controller, then I'm going to put in another controller to make it more secure. So this controller can be built in any kind of controller such as Prisker that have stun, CD up in a kit, all those stuff. And controller, you can also build, put her in as a controller. You can put Longmian in again if you want. You can put in let's say, who else is controller here? Parmi if you want. Okay, so if you have other legendary such as let's say Farah have freeze in her kit. Such as who else got this? Okay, Hilda as a sleep kit and poison kit as well. Yuran is also doable as a sleep, but not really that consistent. And if you want, you can put Liling here as well. If you want, you can put Javid or Jinchu, all those Esper that are able to stun them. So this is where you want to put. So if I want to make a free-to-play team guide here, which is more likely you're able to get, which is going to be Prisker for this second slot. Then other than that, you want to put in a buffer. So a buffer and AP pusher is very important here to increase your DPS output, which is going to be Dahlia for the free-to-play players. And if you have summon and you got lucky, let's say you can replace Dahlia with Sakura as a healer slot and also buffer. Or you want to put in Ashley here is also fine. You want to put in Feng Shun here is also fine. You want to put in who else is a buffer? You want to put Chuya is also fine. You want to put Feng Nongxi also fine. You want to put Xuanbin here also fine. As long as the Esper is giving you buff or giving some AP push. Like Clara doesn't give like aggressive buff, but Clara gives you shield, immunity, and also AP push. So it really depends on what you want to go for. So this AP push, I'll put it here. And then you're gonna have one DPS, and usually this DPS have to be AoE, which I highly recommend with, which is gonna be Jiangman here, because Jiangman deals a lot of high damage with it. And if you want to pair with Jiangman, you can actually pair with Mona as well. Where's Mona? Or you want to put it with Ira also can for more AP down, or you want to put with Mona also can. So this is a simple core idea within a team. Mostly you want a speed leader, another controller for make it more secure, because your speed leader will go to CD down, and then Dahlia like this kind of AP pusher slot, and then 2 DPS. If you don't want 2 DPS, you want to go for 1 DPS, it's also fine. You can put in another slot, let's say like another support like Falcon, or maybe you want to put in Sachiko, it's also totally fine. It really depends on your team build. So this team here can actually help you go until you reach certain boss that maybe is going to require you to 2 teams. So main story mode 2 team, let's say you're going to face this thing. So story mode 2 team wise, you're going to have 2 speed leader. So it's either you can if you don't have any legendary speed leader, you can either go for Longmian as your first speed leader, and then Parmi for your second speed leader. Where's Parmi? So you just need to go through in this website here, go find the leader that is speed plus 20%. Then you have 2 speed leader that is only epic Esper. They don't have to be R6 to be workable. Then after that you can put like controller Esper. Let's say Ira, I'm gonna put it here. Then I wanna Ira, I wanna put it here. Then I wanna put Prisker here. So this is the controller slot. Then for the AP pusher slot, maybe I can put Sachiko here. Then Dahlia here. Dahlia. Okay, then for the first team, maybe I want to go for Jiangman as the main DPS, and then Mona as the sub DPS. Okay, where's Mona? Something like that. So this is my team 1. Then for team 2 here, let's say you need DPS. Okay, maybe Li Guang here as an AP pusher and DPS as well. And then Sander, something like this. Is also a doable as a team build. But you can see there's no legendary here, so you can just feel free to mix and match the slot outside there. So let's say if you have maybes here, if you want, you can actually slot change and then put into maybes here. It's totally fine as long as the team have the few condition: speed, AP control, which is controller, buffer, and also DPS. Then healer depends on if the content you fight is gonna need a healer or not. If you need healer, then you can slot out the last slot here. Let's say change into Clara, something like that. So same thing goes to the main story tree team here. You need to find 3 speed leader. Speed is very important for PvE content. You want to take your action first, or else most of the time in PvE content they will one-shot you first. Alright, so this is a basic idea of making the story content for PvE. Then I also noticed that people do ask about the point war, like for PvP content. So to be honest, PvP content is pretty hard to build, is because it depends on the enemy team and depends on what Esper they are using and what equipment, how good is your equipment is. But usually it's the same concept as well. You want a speed leader as an early game, you want to win in speed, because I don't think your team is solid enough to be a tank team to take the damage from your enemy, right? So usually you want to go for speed, and then you want to go for 1 controller, and then you can put in like, I don't know, like Li Ling as your main DPS, and then you need buffer, which is very important, which is going to be Dahlia again, or else you can put in other buffer here. And then the last one you can put in, let's say what Esper you get, maybe you get Brewster, then you put in here. This is the early game concept of PvP. It's basically the same as PvE, but is more required on the enemy content as well. So let's say enemy is building like a tank team, and then you also depends on what they build. So it's very hard for me to actually build a team that is purely for PvP content. But most of the time, the team outside there in early game, you will see people build at speed. So you want to outspeed them. So the most efficient way to outspeed people is getting Ethan R2. R2 Ethan will give you another extra 20 speed of advantage. So at the end of the day, if you really need someone help on like asking, if you don't know where to ask, and you want to, it's pretty hard for me to help you guys out at the comment section, because I don't know what Esper you have, and I don't know what kind of content you're facing and what kind of enemy you're facing. So if you really want, I would highly recommend you to join my Discord server, and you can ask it here. Okay, you can come to my Discord server here. Alright, my Discord server, and then you can go to the chat here, which is PvP team help, and then you can ask like what kind of team you are facing, or what kind of team, what kind of Esper you have. You show us, and then we will try to build a team for you. So this is why I made a community here to actually help you guys out. So I don't know how many players we are able to help, including if you're a Vietnamese player that doesn't know English. I don't know how am I able to help as well, but we will try our best, and I will try to help it out as well. Okay, so hope this video actually help the player outside there who is asking for a team build idea. This is just a rough idea, and if you want to look more guide that is not, I didn't make into a video version, you can come to the infographic guide here. You scroll back up here, I have some basic Chronos guide that is not Chronos 17 to 20. Here I have some basic team comp idea for you as well, so you can have a base idea of what kind of team or what Esper should you invest in for your future content. Same for Fafnir. I didn't make for the Andras one. Okay, so hope you guys enjoy the video. Feel free to comment down how do you think about it, and if you have any problem like joining the Discord server, because I see some of the welcome here. I think this time as a Vietnamese player, right? They didn't get the role. I don't know if they understand the English or not. They didn't get the role, so they cannot access it. Some player, right? I can't find it now. Yeah, but some player, they didn't able to, like this one here. He didn't get the role, so he is not able to access the community chat. Alright, so hope you guys enjoy the video and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Special thanks for the direct support on the YouTube membership. So for the benefactor of Artiar, which is JenMP, Rosas15, Molcult Rajali, The Bluest Trelane, Pidget Roulette, Kemi, thank you so much for the support. And for the supporter and patron of Artiar, which is Louis Schneider, Agni, Code Wardeners, Wang Tamer, Ziggy, Kamaruki, Sunwatts, Rimu, Choni, Von Hexa, Luxley, Rawson Bessie, Antonio Winterspoon, Marilyn Williams, and Uncle Chat. And that's not all. Also special thanks for the direct support on the live stream super chats. This chat here is only for the latest 10 super chat member will be listed here. So thank you for Agni, Choni, Ziggy, Pidget's Roulette, Code Wardeners, and Rosas15. Thank you so much for the support and hope you guys enjoy the video. Bye bye.